Every now and then, just for fun, if you can call it fun, I'll go and buy something off eBay that's obviously too good to be true, just to see what the catch is. In this case, I've gone and got a 1080p car camera with an LCD screen on the back of it for £30. Well, obviously that's not going to be right, is it? The model number is the GF6000L. It all looks okay so far. Inside the box we've got the usual things: instructions, USB lead, HDMI lead, mount, power adapter and camera itself. The camera doesn't look too bad actually, it's quite lightweight, it's nice and slim. It's got this big screen on the back which has got a protector on. I'll just peel that off. The mount is the usual thing, it's one of those twisty ball joint things, a little bit loose that one. The camera screws onto that like that and that will go on your window, so all this is looking fine so far. Now on the front of the camera we've got the sort of two lights either side of the lens there, the infrared night vision LEDs, which are always useless, a mic and a speaker on the left there. On the bottom here we've got the micro SD card slot and the HDMI out and a reset hole. On the top we've got the USB for the power and an AV out. There was no AV out lead in the box. There's three buttons either side of the screen to control everything. Let's switch it on, see what happens. First thing says it's got a low battery, which isn't unsurprising, so plug it into the USB, see what happens. Well, the camera powers up like it should do, and as you can see at the top there's a flashing red LED there, well not an LED, flashing red thing to show it's recording. The menus look very familiar if you've seen some of these other car camera reviews. You've got 1080p, 720p and VGA in the things there. There's the usual loop length selections. We've got exposure which you can put up and down, motion detection on and off. What was that one? Record audio on and off, G sensor. I'll leave that off as well. Change the date stamp, have it on or off. And then press it again, get into the other setup where you do things like change the date and the time, how long you want it before it powers off automatically, whether you want it to beep when you press the buttons. These are all the different languages in it. As you can see, there's quite a few in here. Over the page we've got the TV mode, the frequency, lamp setting. Lamp will be to turn the infrared LEDs on or off on the front of it, and then format the SD card. Obviously you've got to provide your own micro SD card, but it is 30 quid, so what do you expect? I'll just format the card that I put in it just to get it compatible with this camera, make sure it's got all the right things on there, and I'll just show you the version number at the bottom. If you ever bought one of these, that's the version of mine. Right, okay, so that's all that sorted out. So one thing I wanted to point out though, got a bit of a weird thing going on around the lens here. See this red light? I'll turn the lights off so you can see it. That's red when the camera's charging, or blue and red flashing when it's charging and recording at the same time. And I've put the LEDs on either side of the lens there. Bit of an issue that. Anyway, let's take it out in the car and have a look at it. So as you can see, it's pretty foul weather outside, but then again it is November, so it's to be expected. Now looking at the back of the camera, the LCD screen hasn't gone off yet, and I don't think it's going to, and I don't remember seeing any options in the menus to have it auto blank either. So that means that when you're driving along, the screen's going to be on all the time, which could be distracting if it's anywhere near your line of sight. Another distracting thing, of course, for other people is the multicoloured flashing ring of lights around the lens. Now during the day those aren't too much of a problem, but I'd imagine at night time it's the kind of thing that could get you pulled over by the police. That daytime footage wasn't too good, was it? I mean, it was a pretty crappy day, but the image quality was very sort of sepia tinted, dim, and it kind of flickered a lot. The light fluctuated. Here we are, of course, at night time, just to show you what it looks like in the dark. It performs about the same as most sort of cheapo cameras. Nothing particularly brilliant to comment on here. Of course, we've still got that issue, as I mentioned, the flashing light on the front of the camera pointing out to your windscreen. No way to turn that off. I did have another look in those menus. So you're driving along with this flashing blue light pointing out to the front windscreen. Another thing I noticed, look at this. This is 1080p, and now look at this. That's 720p. There's no difference in image quality at all. The only thing is the timestamp changes size. So it's obviously a 720p camera. In 1080p, it's doing it at 24 frames a second. At 720p, it does it at 30 frames a second. So you might as well just stick it in 720p. You're going to get the same image quality and it'll be smoother. So overall then, that is what a £30 1080p camera looks like. It's not 1080p, but I mean, it was a £30 camera. It kind of worked, I suppose. That's the only pro I can say for it. But on the con side, pretty much everything else. So maybe you're better spending a bit more than £30 on your car camera, at least at the moment anyway. But for the moment, thanks for watching.